It's very easy to get stuck in our own world. We know what we know, and perhaps we've known it for a very long time. So we assume that everyone else knows it. It's obvious, surely. But when we do this, we're actually not tapping into our full potential of what we can create, what we can do, and how we can help others. Because what may seem obvious to us actually can be of massive value to someone else. I'll give you an example. So before I decided to be a videographer, I'd considered it, but I thought, why would I start? It's so obvious. You just point a camera, edit. Anyone can do it. What value do I have to provide? People don't even need this. But the penny really dropped when I observed other people and their needs, and I saw people actually find this hard, and they struggle with it, and they don't understand it, and they don't do a good job sometimes. And then I was like, oh crap, what seems obvious to me is actually an asset to other people. And I had to give myself the self-respect to be like, yeah, no, I can actually provide value and help people with this. Another example is even starting this YouTube channel. Obviously, whenever anyone starts, what must go through their mind is what gives me the right to do this? Why would someone listen to me over someone that's better? But you have to realize that there are actually things that that other people don't know, and that you do have some value, and maybe they already know the things that you're talking about, but what you can do is provide it in a way that only you can explain, and then give them that different perspective on it and make them understand it a bit more deeply. So overall, you have to assess your assets. Very similar words there. Assess your assets clearly. And you don't have to be the best at these things as well. But you just have to be good enough that most people may be able to, get value from it and get help from it. And, in recognizing that, not only do you start to help people and increasingly help people, but you practice and your skills get better. So when I came to this realization with my videography business, this was a great thing, and it meant that I continued with that and became a better videographer because I believed that I had something of value to give. And when you realize it on this side, you then start to realize it on the other side. So I'm sure you must have, in your life experienced something where you'd be amazed by something, and it's something so complicated that someone maybe has created. And you're like, wow, how did you do that? And they're oh no, it's very simple. I just did this, this, and this. And you're like, what? That's super complex. How are you almost belittling this thing to be so easy when it's evidently not? An example of that could be even today when I was boxing. My trainer would be like, oh yeah, just do this, 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 and this. Simple, right? And I'm like, no, that wasn't simple. You may have, done years of training and have fought and watched countless boxing matches, but I don't know any of that stuff. That's super complicated to me. So yeah, so that's just an example of of the vice versa and how this works both ways. So a lesson to take from this is that everyone knows something that you don't, which means that we should all listen to people as much as we can, because in there somewhere is something that we can learn and then benefit from and make ourselves grow from what they're telling us. So yeah, that's today's video on what you have to offer the world. And hopefully this helps you sort of recognize and believe in yourself and give yourself that self-respect to see that you do actually have things that you can provide people with and help people with, and in turn will make you a happier person for doing so. I'll see you tomorrow.